What's up, guys, and welcome back. Stand your ground. I'm your host, as always, Alex Benison. I am joined by one half of the Mighty Whites podcast, Jack Robshaw.
Yeah, mate.
Not bad. And we're joined by returning Brad Carrott.
Hello there.
And well, football's a funny thing, isn't it? Sometimes decisions are given, and they definitely should be, and then other times referees just go, no. I'm sure we'll have a lot to talk about from, well, two rounds of games really, because we've missed the midweek games, and now we're going straight into the weekend fixtures as well. So before we do any of that, though, I don't actually have it down as a banner, and I was supposed to put it down. Congratulations to Steven Gerrard and Rangers for winning the SPFL.
I was surprised going into this season. I would have never seen both Celtic regressing to the level they have and Rangers being so much better than they previously were. They've been miles better side. It's a good job audition for him. I'm assuming. I mean, the rate that they're going, it might even be this summer. He'll get the Liverpool job relatively soon.
Yeah, I can see that happening. I did think Celtic just won the league every season. I didn't think they competed for it, to be honest with you.
Well, they didn't for a very long time. But they've been miles the better side this year. I haven't watched loads of Scottish football, but as a Leeds fan, I'm just going to say it's all down to Kemar Roof.
Yeah. Forgot you were there, to be fair, but yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, he had a lovely stint over in Belgium, but that never really happened. Yeah, and just to add insult to injury for any Celtic fans, Celtic now have to give them a guard of honour next week.
Oh, yeah.
Are they actually going to do it, though?
No, probably not.
To be honest, because I don't keep up, I don't know. It basically depends on... Because Celtic have won it really early quite a few times over the last few years. And because they seem to play each other every 5 weeks in Scotland, it probably comes down to whether Rangers did it for them the last time that was a thing.
Yeah.
They wouldn't do it. I doubt that they'd do it if there was a crowd there for whatever, because it'd just lead to trouble. But with no crowds, they might do it.
Yeah.
So we might as well go into the game roundups. We'll run through the midweek games really quickly, and then we'll talk more in depth about the weekend fixtures, except there will be a few games that we probably have some things to say on. Starting back on Monday, first game in March, Everton winning 1-0 away at home against Southampton. Richarlison continuing his goal-scoring run. Seems to have finally found his shooting boots again.
Yeah, Southampton can't win a game, but we'll see. Maybe they'll come up against a really bad team soon, and maybe they'll win that.
Yeah, they have to be careful soon.
City absolutely battered Wolves 4-1. 2 late goals as well, though. I think maybe the late goals make this scoreline a bit more flattering for City than what it should have been. But that is the game that took them to 28 unbeaten at home in the league. Wednesday, we had Burnley picking up a 1-1 draw against Leicester. Might be a run of form for Burnley, picking up 1-1 draws. Yeah. Sheffield United beating Aston Villa. You know, Villa continuing that thing of, playing Leeds, winning, and then losing your next game.
Yeah, it's not the same as it was in the Championship, where every team that beat us was awful the next time, but it's still carried on to an extent. There's a noticeable drop-off after teams play us.
Yeah. And then Palace picking up a 0-0 draw against Man United. Absolutely dull, boring game to watch. 2 decent saves by Henderson, but other than that, fucking boring game.
It is Man United.
Yeah.
Fuck off. Everton playing their second game in 4 days. They picked up a 1-0 win against West Brom. Fulham then dropped points at home to Spurs. Spurs picking up that 1-0 win. But we'll probably talk about this game a little bit, because do you reckon that goal should have been disallowed for handball?
Oh, yeah, it's enough days ago now that I'd forgotten. But there's 2 versions of it. According to the rules, the way they are now, yes, it's handball. but also that rule is stupid because that's never handball in a million years.
Yeah, took rules. It's handball, but his arms like down his side, like it's hit him. Yeah, but that's not. When you go on to the other decisions, I'm guessing we'll get onto that. It's just it's awful.
Yeah, that should never get given as handball. There is literally, short of having the best reactions you've ever seen and be able to move your arm out the way.
Yeah,
it's completely unavoidable. Really, there's absolutely no chance.
Decision. It's in a natural position on his body, and you can't move it.
Yeah, unfortunately, your boy Jack scored an own goal to Sunadarabayo.
Yeah, he's still been good this season. I still think he's quality.
So then we move on to Chelsea versus Liverpool, and you wouldn't think there could be any other controversy in this game, but Chelsea, getting away with another handball.
I've missed this one, so
I can't remember who it is for Liverpool, but they just flick it to go past Kante, and his arms about here hits his hand, and just nothing.
It was a Firmino cross, wasn't it? I think, and his arm was like up here. It was a.
I think I've seen the photo, but I didn't put 2 and 2 together. Flick for it.
But yeah, Chelsea picking up the 1-0 win, and we were on about it earlier, Brad. This was Liverpool's 5th home defeat in a row, and they'd not won in 7 at home in the league, coming from a team that last year did not get beat at Anfield.
Yeah.
Well, there's no point getting into it because we'll come on to it in a bit.
Yeah. So after that bombardment of games, we finally had one day on Friday where we had no games. So straight into the Saturday games then. And you know what? We Burnley picked up a really good 1-1 draw midweek against Leicester, and then picked up another 1-1 draw against Arsenal. And Granit Xhaka, what the fuck are you thinking?
Yeah, this was absolutely dreadful. And I've seen a lot of people and on the day going, why are they playing their way out like that? Just get rid. It was nothing to do with playing it out from the back. If he plays that ball first time, he had 20 yards of margin for error with 3 Arsenal players unmarked. He could have just played it first time through that gap and he was fine. And he took a touch and waited and then played the ball straight at Chris Wood. It's not to do with playing out from the back. It's to do with just, I don't know what got into him, but it was just terrible, terrible play.
You're a professional footballer, a central midfielder nonetheless. You should not be hitting the striker from 10 yards away for a tap in.
Yeah.
Like I said, it should be first time, but even if he waits that long, he should be missing Chris Wood.
Yeah.
It's just simple as that. That's
I think the one good thing that Arsenal could take from this is that at least Aubameyang's found his shooting boots again. He's finally scoring back in the Prem. But Nick Pope would have been a bit upset that he didn't get a stronger glove to that.
Yeah, strong shot, but yeah, Nick Pope should have tipped that.
Yeah, he should have saved it, definitely. Arsenal overall, like in terms of the actual balance of play, they should have won this game. They created enough chances. They had Ceballos hitting the post late on.
Saka just missed post as well, didn't he?
Yeah, there was quite a lot of chances that they should have had.
Yeah, do you think that with the way that Arsenal are playing at the moment, is there any way that Arteta stays for next season?
Yeah. I think he'll still be there.
Yeah, I do. I think he's had some really bad patches, but I think on a whole, he's started to get the team playing better, and he's brought in them young lads who are really at ground running. Saka, Smith Rowe. I think he's done enough. If he finishes a little bit closer than what he is now to the top 4, top 6, I think it'd be safe.
Yeah, for the most part, he's managed to obviously there's criticisms and stuff, and that's reasonable. But for the most part, from what I've seen from Arsenal fans, he seems to still be pretty popular with the fans. Yeah. And that should be enough to keep him in it. I mean, in this game, as much as, it's a poor result and everything, they had an absolutely blatant penalty turned down for handball as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is absolutely no way that's not handball. It's bordering on clotheslining the ball.
Yeah.
I know that he's close to the ball, so he doesn't have long to react. But that doesn't matter if your arm is out like this. It's so clearly handball, and I think that he knew it, because wasn't the Peters one where he sent him off for handball and then it got overturned? Wasn't that
No.
after? Or was that before?
Peters won first. He's blocked Pepe's shot, but his arm and his legs like this, and it's hit his hand, and it's like, yeah, that's a penalty.
Yeah,
And then
that was...
were it low? Is it low? It's his shoulder. Is it low?
Yeah, I thought that one was Peters as well, the one that he knocked onto the bar, but it was but it was with his shoulder, and that was really good defending.
Yeah, clearly.
But how he got away with the first one?
Are they in transition still? If it's about Arsenal, they've been in transition for about 14 years.
They have been for a while, but I think at the moment, looking at that squad, I think you genuinely can say they still are.
Yeah.
It's not there. If they're still in this position halfway through next season, then they don't get it as much. But they have brought in a lot of the young players and stuff. I wonder if they'll be able to bin a few off along the edges of the squad, because they already started doing that, didn't they? Like, they got rid of a few in January who were never going to get back in the side. It'll be interesting to see what they do in the summer, because they could do with at least 3 or 4.
Yeah, 3 or 4 midfielders. So Sheffield United and Southampton, 2-0 to Southampton. James Ward-Prowse penalty and a fucking thunderbolt from Shea Adams. First win in 10 for Southampton, who I tipped to win the league.
Talk about a jinx.
To be fair, you were only like 70% serious.
Yeah, I'm not.
Oh.
Whoop, what happened there? Ah, well. He wasn't completely serious, but anyway.
No. But they did start off well. They started off really well at the start of the season. I would have tipped them at the start of the season to stay in top 4 with where they were going, but injuries, Ings, and now they might get relegated.
Yeah, I mean, I think they'll be fine. You know, they're 14th now with 33 points. I don't think that they'll be in any serious trouble, but that level of performance drop-off was pretty stark. I still look at Southampton, though, and think, good side. I like the way they play. I like the way they press all over. I like Carson Huttle as a manager.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely not worried about them, but I think overall this season, they'll have to look at it as a bit of a disappointment given the start they had.
Yeah, well, it's one of them. Every team in the league has suffered some serious injuries, and Southampton have probably been hit with one at worst. In terms of like the starting 11, especially when it comes to clubs where they don't have a big bench like Man City, where they can just throw another £50 million striker or midfielder on team. So they hit them, and it's just it's unlucky for them, to be honest with you. I think that Man United loss really, it was just unlucky, but
yeah, I mean, it was whenever you ship 9, generally speaking, it's a terrible performance, and you also have to have a few things go against you. Like, they had a player sent off after about 60 seconds.
It's that first 2-3 minutes.
Yeah.
Screws
well, I suppose that's what happened to us at Old Trafford, didn't it? We had an awful opening 3 minutes and we were done. But in this game, there is one thing about this, you know, having injuries and things like that, missing Ings has made a big difference.
Yeah.
But it does give you a chance to look at players that you wouldn't necessarily get to look at. And I really like what I'm seeing about Nathan Teller.
He looked a real pain against us a couple of weeks back. Yeah, he looked really good in that first 45 minutes. I think he dropped off in the second half, and that's why they took him off. But he looked a right pain. But you're right. Some youth lads who are coming through who sort of have to fill that role. Yeah, I think we know fans as well. They don't see that same pressure to perform, to get into the side, and I think it's really, really helping them, to be honest.
Yeah. As for Sheffield United, I've almost no interest in talking about them, and it's not. I don't particularly dislike Sheffield United as much as some do. Chris Wilder pisses me off a bit sometimes because he's a bit of a dick at times, but they're just so far gone But there's nothing really to say. They're going to be in the Championship next season. They should stick with Wilder because he's done well overall. And if they do, and they spend a little bit of money, they'll probably be okay next season and have a decent chance of coming back.
I don't think they need to spend any money. I think they need to keep the players they've got because I don't think they've got any top Premiership quality. I don't think they'll lose any players. I don't think anybody will come in for them. Maybe. No, I don't. I can't even say a single player. I think somebody would come in and scalp out of them. But
his contract, I haven't heard out, so I'm assuming it's still going because I think Lundstrom's out of contract at the end of the season. I think a Premier League team will take him with him being on a free because on a free he's definitely worth a gamble on a free.
But there's no players there. You think, oh, I'd have him, but without seeing line up in front of me. To be fair,
I don't think that there's anyone that absolutely jumps out. Like if Jack O'Connell wouldn't have been injured all season, then he would have been that guy. But because he's been injured all season, he'll benefit from a year in Championship with him.
I think that's the same with that Brewster as well.
Yeah. He might well be a bet for top scorer in the Championship next season.
If he hits ground running and Sheffield sort of go for it again next season, I think you're right there.
Yeah, and I like Fleck and Norwood in middle as well, but not enough to think, they'll definitely get snapped up by Premier League teams. I think that they're good, but they'll probably stick around. Yeah. So, are you back working, Alex?
Oh, hi there.
You know what's really... The laptop just decided to freeze. The screen's still on. I can't move the mouse. I don't know what's happened. It's just dead.
We can see.
It seems to be working anyway through your phone, I'm guessing.
Yeah. I'm guessing you're talking about Sheffield United. So one player that I would look at if I was in the newly promoted side is Egan at the back.
Yeah, John Egan's pretty solid. But he's had a lot of injuries and stuff.
Yeah.
He's a bit of a liability for a red card as well, so depends if they want to take that risk.
Yeah.
Obviously, Southampton probably need to strengthen in midfield because they can't just have Ward-Prowse trying to do it all by himself. And with Danny Ings, is he 30? I'm going to say he's 30, but I think he's quite a bit younger than that. I think he's like 28, isn't he?
Yeah, he's surprisingly young to say how long he's been in the game or around.
Yeah, he's not that old. He's late 20s. He's a really good player. It's a shame he's had so many injuries.
28.
Because he has been really good.
Well, for me, Danny Ings were always a player who could, especially over the last 2 seasons at Southampton, could probably go to any team, I say top 10 now, who needs a striker. I think, I know it might sound stupid, but I'd have had, if he were fit and not injury prone, I'd rather have Danny Ings at Man United than Cavani. How well he plays the Prem.
Obviously, I'm not in the business of wanting them to do well. Neither are you. But if Ings without injury problems would probably still be at Liverpool.
Yeah.
He's without the injury problems. He wouldn't be first choice. He wouldn't be playing every week, but he could easily be the guy on the bench when he's fit.
But I think he needed to leave to get out of the shadow of that.
Yeah. And if you can do that at Liverpool, though, he could have done that at Man United. He could have done that at Chelsea. It'd have been an option.
I think any club in there what don't really have a proper striker. To be honest with you, Liverpool. He could probably go back to Liverpool now. They definitely need him.
I've seen a lot of Liverpool fans actually. Yeah, and I've seen a lot of Liverpool fans actively saying that they want him back. But we all know that playing well at Southampton is how you get in the Liverpool side. Hence why Takumi Minamino looks so much better now.
Yeah. It's going to be weird when he goes to Sevilla next year.
Yeah, that's a stupid ass signing for Liverpool. Stupid ass bit.
Anyway. I don't think it's the signing itself. It's the swap deal that they're going to bring in that Campos as part of the deal. I don't think that Campos isn't a clinical finisher.
That really well-known player who they're getting rid of for another really well-known player.
Yeah, it's. I'll wait and see if any of that actually happens. So Villa and Wolves then.
Yeah, lovely 0-0 draw. Sai's missed a sitter.
Biggest open net I've ever seen.
It's one of them. It's right up there. I don't know what it was on XG, but I bet it was like 0.9 or something. Because I would say you should score that minimum 99 times out of 100, but XG is always lower than you think.
Yeah.
That was just a horrific miss.
I'd say you should score that, but I've actually done that same miss on Sunday League football, so I'll give him a pass, but he's getting paid 80 grand a week and I wasn't.
Yeah.
So
Best no-go I've seen for a while.
Yeah, Connor Cody should have had one or two as well.
Yeah, the one Martinez's save late on. Admittedly, a better finish gives the keeper no chance, but it was good goalkeeping. Obviously, Watkins and Ezri Konsa both hit the bar in the first half for Villa.
Yeah.
It wasn't a bad game, this, and I think a draw was fair. If this had finished 1-1 instead of 0-0, it'd have been right.
Yeah. And then on to the final game of the Saturday. Brighton 1, Leicester 2. We've already got a comment about this, actually. Matt saying, Brighton unlucky against Leicester. Played a really good game. To me,
it's Tavares. It'll be an autocorrect, probably.
Right. Looks like a right player, though, for Leicester. Yeah, that the centre mid that struck that header down from Vardy.
Yeah, the volley that Sanchez made a really good save from.
Yeah, he did look. He looked the part. To be fair, Leicester's midfield, God, they've got some right names. With Barnes being out, and they've still got Ndidi. They've got that Mendy that I didn't really rate at first, but the more I see him now, the better I think he is.
Yeah. He looks decent, does Nampali's Mendy. But the one that I just love Tielemans.
He's quality.
Yeah.
He'll leave Leicester, to be fair. I mean, at the moment, I can't see another bigger team going in for him, but he'll leave. He needs to be challenging for some titles, and he is quality.
Yeah.
For his age as well.
Yeah, and for that Tavares, considering I think that's his first ever league start. He's only 19. He did look like a real player. As for Brighton, obviously having been being a Leeds fan and being very much Bielsa, I do look at stats and think, no, they're gonna be fine. Because Brighton should have won like 12 of the last 16 games and have won like 2 of them. I keep watching them and thinking, no, surely they'll be fine. Surely they'll be fine. But as it keeps going, week after week after week, you do start to think, have they though? I mean, they are above the relegation zone by 3 goals on goal difference now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have no idea how they've managed it. Like in this game, I know Leicester came back into it, but in the first half, Brighton could have been 3-4-0. They were miles better. It wasn't even close. They were the better team by such a distance. And then they find a way to lose the game.
It's the case when you're in mixer like that, though, isn't it? The goals just don't go in, because if the goals go in, you're not there, are you? You're not.
It's been a case. It's been a case of Brighton ever since they've come up. They seem to get a bit of momentum. They start climbing the table, but they're never going to get to that mid-table spot. They always seem to come back down into a relegation battle halfway through the season.
It's as if karma's getting back to them, because when they stayed up under Houghton, they were statistically the worst side in the division, and they stayed up. And now, statistically, they're like the 6th best team in the league, and they look like they might go down. I still think that they'll be fine, because they're creating enough chances that even with, Welbeck not being in great form and Morpé's finishing's gone to shit and all of that stuff, they will create so many chances that at some point it'll click and they'll win a couple of games that pull them away from some really poor teams. But it does look like, I think Sheffield United and West Brom are gone.
Yeah.
So it looks like Brighton, Newcastle or Fulham for that spot. And right now, I'd say Newcastle are ones that are going.
Yeah, Newcastle there.
I tipped them halfway through. Well, when we got to the 1st of January, I decided to write an article about where I think people were going to finish. Don't take my word for it, because I said Palace were going to finish in the top half, because I thought that Maita that they signed were going to be a really good signing for them. But I did have Newcastle dropping into that 18th spot.
Yeah, can't take mine pre-season. I said Fulham had come bottom because Scott Parker's a rubbish manager. and it appears I was wrong.
I think out of all the youngish managers, he's doing well. Now he's started to get him playing in Premier League. He's doing well and look good.
Yeah, but as I was amazed that Brighton managed to do it again. It is almost as if they're cursed.
Yeah. One thing I do have to say about that game, though, it's nice to see Daniel Amati score. He's had a horrible time with injury. He's been out for 19 months, and then he finally gets back into starting lineup. I think he had originally come back into starting lineup playing right back because Castan's been injured, hasn't he? But it was nice to see him get a goal.
Yeah, because he was really highly rated, and it's not just that 19-month injury. He's had a load of injuries over the last sort of 4 years, hasn't he? And he's barely played.
Yeah.
So he's doing really well to come back, because I thought he'd get back playing, but I didn't think it'd be in the Premier League. I thought he'd end up dropping down a bit and then maybe trying to come back.
Yeah, I thought they would have sent him on loan somewhere. But onto the Sunday games. West Brom 0, Newcastle 0.
I didn't watch this. I'm starting nights tonight, so I slept in really late to set the clock. Got up, saw what the score was, and went, I'm not even going to go back and watch the highlights of this. So this is up to...
This was two fantastic tactical football managers of Sam Allardyce and Steve Bruce facing off in a classic 0-0 draw. I mean, if Newcastle can't pick up 3 points against West Brom, and no, I know Man United couldn't do it either, but still, you would have thought that's very, very worrying signs for Newcastle.
When you've got fans who actually want you to go down, so then you get bought by a bit and have more money.
You see, the thing is,
sign.
if they go down, he won't sell them because he'll only make a profit if they're in the Premier League when he sells them. And Mike Ashley, all he gives a shit about is making a profit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he'll pump a bit of money into him, get him back up to the Premier League, then sell.
Yeah.
Well, Premier League won't let him sell him to the Saudis, will they?
No, for many reasons. Some of them good, some of them a bit more spurious. I do understand Newcastle fans' position on that. I mean, they're just desperate to get bought. I wouldn't want them anywhere near Leeds United from a personal point of view. I don't think that they should be allowed to buy them, given everything human rights wise, given the completely, putting up a Be Out Q channel that rips off beIN Sports and makes it available. So billions of dollars worth of copyright infringements against the Premier League, all of that stuff. But I do understand that football makes hypocrites of everyone. Football has taken money off everyone, and this is where they've drawn a line. And to Newcastle fans, that doesn't seem fair, because they've done it before. They've taken money off places that they shouldn't do before, and this is the one where they've decided to take a stand. So because it's that one, I can understand why Newcastle fans are pissed off about it.
Was it Sheffield United that took money off for Osama bin Laden? Or was money that was linked to him?
I don't know about that. I mean, part of the ownership of Sheffield United, the owner is Saudi, but it's not the Saudi royal family. It's a private citizen, so that is different. Yeah. But there's always those rumours that Osama bin Laden was at Highbury all the time because it was an Arsenal fan, but I don't think anyone's ever been able to prove it true. And obviously the cutout of Osama bin Laden was at Elland Road last season when they put up all those cardboard crowdies.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
So we'll move on to Liverpool versus Fulham. I'll just let you read that because I don't know what accent to put onto that.
No, well, it's probably Mike Skinner from the streets, seeing as that's what Scott Parker sounds like. But I cannot believe, it isn't Fulham winning at Anfield that shows where we are right now. It's that no one seems surprised.
Yeah.
I thought that they deserved it. I woke up in time to watch this game because I thought it'd be decent, and I wanted to watch Manchester Derby, despite the clock and everything. And I thought in the first half, Fulham were really good.
Yeah, They looked good in the first half, and they looked defensively sound in the second. Liverpool just looked boring and couldn't break them down.
Yeah, like for all the possession and stuff that Liverpool had in this game, they had 3 shots on target. Areola made that really good save from that Jota volley, and Mane had that really good header that hit the woodwork.
Yeah.
Outside of that, did they ever look like scoring?
No.
And I would argue that Fulham probably looked like they might score more often than that, despite having less of the ball and stuff.
Yeah, both of them only had 3 shots on target. Liverpool with 16 and Fulham with 10. But I think Fulham look like a different team with that Josh Madger up top. I don't know where they've signed him from, or if he's come through the youth ranks.
He's from Bordeaux. He came through at Sunderland. He was top scorer in League One when they sold him to Bordeaux. It was the season where the Sunderland Till I Die documentary was going, but he always looked really good. Did Madger?
Yeah.
He came into the side when they were in the Championship. You know, when they came bottom straight after going out of Premier League.
Yeah,
and he was the bright spot along with one other young striker whose name escapes me, and he went to Swansea. It's like Joe Lozano or something like that. But they were like the big. They really looked like being the guys to fire them up. They went, right, if we keep these in League One, these will be quality in League One and they'll fire us back up. And they sold Asano in the summer and they sold Madger in January and fell to bits. But Madger, he's played like 40 odd games for Bordeaux in Ligue 1. So he hasn't been not playing. He hasn't set the world right, but he's done okay. And he's come to Fulham and looked really good. Them being better for a different striker doesn't actually shock me, because back end of last season, even though he was one of the best players in the Championship, back end of last season, they looked better when they didn't play Mitrovic. And now they're in the Premier League, and it's the same. They look better when they don't play Mitrovic.
Don't rate him at all. He's got a good goal scoring record, and a lot of people sort of rate him as a striker, but he's never done it once in Premier League. And he was top scorer, but like you said, he looked a lot better.
The team just, without that focal point, the team seems to play better. Yeah. They played some really nice stuff today. Like, I think that Harrison Reed's been really good for him, and he was really good from last season. Obviously, Lamina scored today. That was a really good goal, as dreadful as it was from Salah to give the ball away. But the thing with them now is they've got a real attacking threat. Like today, obviously, they brought Loftus-Cheek off the bench, and he's a good player. But you've got Lookman, Bobby De Cordova-Reid, Ivan Cavallero, and Josh Madger on the pitch. That's not setting up to just defend at Anfield. That's 4 really attacking players on there. So if they do get a chance to break, they've actually got something there to do something with it.
Yeah.
And I'm really impressed by them. And that, I would have never thought it coming into this season, but I think they're going to stay up now.
To be fair, defensively, I think they're really good as well. I think that Anderson that they signed from Lyon's been good. Obviously, Tosin Adarabioyo's been decent in the centre back. They signed that Tete as well, the right back from Lyon, and I think he's been out injured for parts of this season. The one that I wasn't sure on is that Anina that they're playing at left back. I think Robinson's a better left back. But obviously they've only got Anina on loan for the rest of this season. I think he goes back to Torino, I think, is where they've loaned him from. Yeah,
because Aina's another one of those, that crop that was at Chelsea being loaned out every year forever.
Yeah.
Because I remember he was at Hull at one piece, I think. But yeah, I thought Fulham were really good. And I think I said a similar thing last week. I know that Liverpool have got all these injuries and they're all at centre-back, and that is going to make you worse. But it don't make you this much worse.
No.
This is just, like, Liverpool shouldn't lose six home games in a row, is it now?
Yeah, 6.
6 home games in a row, 8 without a win.
Like, with the level of talent in that Liverpool squad, that should not happen. Like,
so
it just...
See how good Salah is meant to be, and Mane, they should still be scoring. They should still be able to break down a Fulham side. It's not the first side who's, in second half, sat 11 men behind ball and tried to break on them. It's quite common, especially nowadays, for a side as good and well-known as Liverpool to come up against teams like this. Salah Mane, Firmino, even though I don't rate Firmino, I don't really rate Salah anymore. They should be breaking these down. He should be getting at least a goal or two and putting them to sword.
Yeah, I mean, where does that put them now? Are they 8th now?
7th. A point above.
No, they're 8th. They're technically 8th because Spurs are playing at the moment, so they've added a point on. But they're 8th with only 3 points above Villa, who've got 2 games in hand on them, and only 5 points above Arsenal, who've got a game in hand on them. So they can be 9th by the end of this weekend.
Yeah, you see, that is unbelievable, isn't it? Like, with the squad they've got, and don't get me wrong, I don't think they should sack Klopp or anything like that, because I think this is a bit of an aberration. But it is pretty shameful, the level of performance that they've been putting in lately. And that's why it wouldn't shock me I don't think they'll sack him, but it wouldn't shock me if Klopp quit.
I think he'll part ways. I thought he were gonna leave this summer because I know he don't stay at clubs long. And he sort of did what he wanted to do. He won the Premier League, he won the Champions League. I thought he might have moved on to somewhere like Inter or AC. Club he hasn't been to yet.
I think I mentioned last week, but there is also a chance that after the Euros, the Germany job will come up.
Maybe, that might be a shout for him. But yeah, I think depending how he finishes this season, if he don't get in that top 4.
Yeah, Klopp putting all his eggs in the Champions League basket. Do you think he should now? Where they are in the league, should he just go all out for the Champions League?
I mean, they do have to go all out for it, but you can't give up on qualifying for the Champions League. As much as they've been poor, they're still only 4 points off 4th. So, they can still, if they start playing something like, they'll probably still get back in the top 4. If they start playing like Liverpool again. But at the minute, there's very few signs of them doing it.
It's not even that. Even if they play really well, you can't see Leicester, Chelsea, or Man United dropping that many points. Right? Chelsea don't look the most attacking threat, but they haven't lost under the new manager.
No, I could see Leicester dropping off, like they did last season, and also as much as they did beat Brighton, that first half against Brighton they were dreadful.
Yeah, but it's still 3 points. They managed to far out.
I could see Leicester dropping points. I can't see Chelsea dropping right off. I'll agree with that. Now that they've got rid of their rubbish coach and got a better one.
Yeah, being an former England midfielder and becoming a manager isn't for everyone, Frank. So, on to the final game that's already happened. The full-time whistle has been blown. Manchester Derby. I went
stupid early on, lads.
Yeah, I went into this hoping for a draw at best. Well, that went well.
It did for you. Obviously, I was very, very, very disappointed. As much as it doesn't affect me as much as the Leeds game was, I never want Man United to win anything. But, I mean, just a stupid challenge from Jesus. You know, you're 35 seconds in and you're just giving away a penalty like that. And it just gave Man United a platform to play their game on. And to be honest, it was another one where, a bit like the Liverpool game, for all the ball Man City had, considering it's Man City, they didn't look that dangerous. I know they missed a few chances, but by the end of the game, Man United definitely deserved to win it.
Yeah. Jesus should be nowhere near that penalty. I get they're all sort of similar players in that team. They're all attacking and they all work out similar to a Leeds side. Which surprised me when commentators actually compared one at Man United to Leeds. That were a weird one.
Yeah.
Should be nowhere near them. Man City, I thought might have got a goal or two. How the hell does Walker Meggs Sterling from like 20 yards?
Sterling, when he was unmarked about 6 yards out, he really should have done better with that. That's another one where it's bordering on a curse. Like Sterling scores loads of goals, and I think the stat came up at the bottom that he's played Man United 22 times and never scored.
Yeah. And to be fair, out of the front three, only Jesus had scored against us. Mahrez had never scored against us either.
Yeah. I was pretty surprised, given the way that the game was going, and given, the situation that they were in. Like Aguero was on the bench, wasn't he?
Yep, it's fit.
Yeah.
And just never brought him on. And in the situation they were in, I'm very surprised at that. I think Guardiola must be preparing for life without him. I think he must be going in the summer.
You'd have thought so. There must be something there because if he's fit, he is twice, if not more, the player that Jesus is. He's more mobile and he's so clinical. He's one of the best, if not the best striker in the league when he's fit. So it is either not fully fit yet, or he's preparing a team to win the league without Aguero in middle.
Yeah,
he's going back to Argentina. You would imagine so, anyway.
Go to a
Nah, he's got all the respect. He really, really respects the Argentinian coaching tradition, so he's coming late.
Fit enough.
I thought it were really nice to see Luke Shaw as well pop up with a goal, because he's another one who United fans have been on and off about Luke Shaw due to his fitness and not being able to stay in the side. But when he does play, it's a mixed bag of he's really good at attacking. Has he got that defensive side to him? But this season, Luke Shaw seems to be really strong, and maybe bringing Alex Telles in as it shored him up in the defensive region, because he's managing to keep out a fresh, brand new signed left back who's very highly rated out of the side. I reckon he'll be in the Euro squad at the end of this season if he stays fit.
There's a decent chance of that. That's if Southgate doesn't just take 4 right backs and play one of them on the left, because he seems to love doing that. And there's also Chilwell as well, who's really good. I think the main thing for Luke Shaw is not having a manager who tries to cut his balls off every time he speaks about him in the press, which is what he had for a while with Mourinho.
Yeah.
I think that has definitely helped him. But he's a good player, is Shaw, and it is good for him that he's managed to come back, because he did look like he was going to drop off and be playing for a team in 14th in 2 years, but he's sort of arrested his slide and come back up, and it was a really good goal that of his today.
Playing for a team in 14th, is that? Oh, it's Southampton.
Well, that's where he came from, so makes sense.
I thought it were you, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm not giving you enough credit.
I'd love to have him, but we need a left back.
Yeah, it'd work well at Leeds.
Now that it was a deserved win. Obviously, Man City had won like 21 games in a row before this, or I think it was 21. They're miles clear. They're still going to win the league comfortably. As much as it would garner clicks and stuff to say, "Oh, the title race is on," I don't think it is. I still think they're going to win it pretty comfortably.
No,
yeah, we went from being 14 points behind to 11 points behind with 10 games left.
Yeah,
I don't see it happening.
No,
I'm just annoyed that Man City didn't go unbeaten, because I thought, you know what, they might go unbeaten to the rest of the season now. But I never said it out loud, so it don't count.
Yeah.
The game that's playing at the moment is Spurs versus Palace. Spurs have just gone 1-0 up. Gareth Bale scored again.
Ooh.
He's suddenly looking a bit more like himself, isn't he?
Looking more like Gareth Bale.
Yeah.
International breaks coming up, that's why. He's getting ready to play for Wales.
Yeah.
Or they're just letting him play a bit of golf.
Well, yeah. I believe that he's playing as much as he wants, because I remember seeing something when he first signed. I believe there's a golf course like within 5 minutes at training ground.
He's got bored of Spain. Got bored of playing over in Spain, that's all.
I don't know what the rules are, but if there is a way to still play golf in lockdown, Gareth Bale has enough money to do it.
Yeah. Well,
he'll have one of those big, projection screens. The thing where you used to hit it at the thing and then you see it fly through the video.
Yeah. Either that, or they just bought a golf course and said, "No, this is my garden. I can play."
And then the 2 games that are taking place on Monday, Everton playing their 3rd game in 6 days against Chelsea. Been a bit harsh as the fixtures, hasn't it, for them?
Yeah, but I think a lot of teams have gone through it. It's nothing new, is it? I know Leeds went through a rough patch a few games, and a lot of teams are going through it now. But I suppose it's what happens when you sort of do well in some cup fixtures. all comes thick and fast.
Yeah, I have to admit that with the way they're playing at the minute, I do fancy Chelsea for this. I think Chelsea will win it 2-1.
Yeah. I don't know if Everton are even going to score, but you say Richarlison's on a hot streak at the moment. Yeah, but I can see Chelsea doing really well and sort of going clear in that fourth spot. Maybe leapfrogging City soon. So yeah, probably put Chelsea to win.
Yeah, I'm the same. I think Chelsea will win this. No, I don't. The one result that I can back up, I don't think Everton will win. I think Chelsea will either win or this will be a draw. I can't see Everton coming away from Stamford Bridge with 3 points. But it's a good opener for the final game of this round of fixtures as West Ham play Leeds.
That's going to be a good game.
It should be a decent enough game, but you can look at all the tactical things in the world. Will West Ham play 3 at the back and play 3-4-3? Will they play 4-3-2-1? Because that'll affect the way Leeds play Hull in. There was pictures of Leeds travelling down to London. Rodrigo was there, Berardi was there, Calvin Phillips was there. So Calvin Phillips might be fit again, which would make a massive difference to us. But forget all that. It's London, so Leeds will lose.
Yes, we need to break that curse somehow, but I don't think it will be against West Ham.
Yeah, I mean, what is it? One. We haven't won since December 2017 when we beat QPR 3-1, Kemaru hat-trick, and we hadn't won for about 10 games before that.
Yeah, it just doesn't work. Even our new home pitch is not doing as well.
Yeah,
being from London.
Yeah, we just don't. It makes no logical sense because it's not like it's a 12-hour flight and all the players. It's none of that stuff. We just can't win in London.
Yeah, it's going to be an hard game, and to be honest with you, I think that out of all the fixtures we've got, this West Ham scare me as a Leeds team the most.
Yeah, the way they play, they will sit deep, but they've got enough pace on the counter to make it really difficult for us. At set pieces, they're a real threat. Cresswell's delivery is good, and they've got. I mean, Ogbona's injured, but they will have Craig Dawson, Issa Diop, Declan Rice, Thomas Soucek, Mikel Antonio attacking set pieces.
Yeah,
that is a danger for anyone, and we're rubbish at defending set pieces. We're better than we were 2 months ago, but we're still not great.
Yeah. Strikers helped a lot in that back four.
Yeah. If Phillips is fit, as much as it'll be incredibly harsh on Strike, I think that he'll pick Llorente and Cooper. So I think Strike will drop to the bench, which would be incredibly harsh on him because he's been excellent.
Done so well. It's just we've bought 2 international centre backs, and you're going to play them, and Cooper's captain. I mean, Cooper's done really well, and he's come under a lot of stick over the season. But I think over the last 5 games, he's been one of our rocks, and he's done really well. So,
yeah. As for West Ham, they've got enough going forward. I mean, Antonio, I really like. I don't know exactly who they'll pick, but if they pick 3 behind the striker, it'll be 3 of Pablo Fornals, Said Benrahma, Jesse Lingard, and Jared Bowen.
I forgot about Lingard. Jesus.
And Lingard is looking like Lingard 3 years ago all of a sudden again. Yeah. And the thing that they did really well at Ellen Road was they played Said Benrahma as a number 10, and he just sat on Calvin Phillips and made it really difficult for Leeds to play the way out. If they play Lingard in that role, he's got loads of energy, he's really disciplined, and he's got the quality to take advantage if they do win the ball back. So I think I would expect him to have a big game. I'm not going to say we're going to lose because I don't actually understand. But if we got a draw, I'd snap your hand off. So I'll say 1-1.
I can't predict it because it's Leeds.
Yeah,
not only because it's my team. It's just it's Leeds. It could be one of them games where we go out and play really beautiful football and still get a draw, or we thrash a team,
or we get hammered,
or West Ham just start really quick, one long ball, and Jesse Lingard sticks it in bottom corner, and then it's 4-1.
Yeah.
So I won't say it's that. I'll be optimistic, and I'll say Rodrigo starts and gets for an hat-trick from under 23's performance.
Yeah.
I just want you to beat West Ham. Even as a Man United fan, I want you to beat West Ham because I don't like having West Ham that many, being that close to us in the Champions League spots.
Yeah, well, You know, they've still only played 26 games. I mean, if West Ham beat us, they'll go on to 48 points, which, like, if Chelsea, which would put them up with, you know, depending on the Chelsea Everton result, it'll put them 4th, 5th, or 6th. But
Yeah,
they really are in with a shout this season. David Moyes has done a really good job.
Which I
Yeah.
never thought I'd hear, by the way.
Yeah.
David Moyes, good job.
Yeah.
David Moyes, West Ham Champions League.
I don't think they'll get it. I think 5th. I think they might beat out Everton for 5th.
Yeah.
So I'm going to play a quick promo video of all the live podcasts that go here on the Buzz, and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk Euro 2020 groups, and I'm going to ask you each for your predictions of who's going to win the group.
Yay.
War. Tell them that's what we ready for. War. Tell them that's what we ready for. War. Bringing that to competitors. Till we see the confetti fall, be ready for. War. Tell them that's what we ready for. War. Tell them that's what we ready for. War. Bringing that to competitors. Till we see the confetti fall, be ready for. War. Tell them I'm ready, any opponent. The crown heavy and every minute is chosen. A path only fit for kings, and you won't know what this court means. What did you enlist for? If it isn't getting more rings, then you gon' have to switch your team. Trust me, it gets more mean. I'm a nightmare going up against your dreams. First step is explosive like a bomb hit. Bet if I let it fly, I cannot miss. And you ain't got a chance at the top 10 when you getting clamped all night by a locksmith. On the block throwing lobs to my top bigs. I'm a chef, no look with the top dish. Tie game, through the pressure as the clock ticks. Crossover, step back, hit a shot, swish.
Yeah, that's all the fantastic live shows that are here on the Buzz. Make sure that you check them out. If you're watching this live now, then after this video, make sure that you go to either our Facebook or YouTube or Twitter and check out some of the fantastic other content that we create. But Euros 2020, we're finally under the 100-day mark for this thing that's been delayed by a full year.
Are we guaranteeing it's going to happen?
Yes. Where it'll take place, I don't know. But obviously the Euros and the World Cup are two different things. There's normally I think the World Cup have 8 groups. Euros, they have 6 groups, and then you have is it 4 third-place teams also qualify as well as number 1 and 2? I think that's how it works. And then you end up at round 32.
That's 16, and that works for.
But I'm not going to ask you to predict them 1 to 4. I'm just going to ask you to predict who you think comes out on top. Unless you want to predict 1 to 4.
I'm not doing 1 to 4, but I've got the top 2.
Right. So Group A, we've got Turkey, Italy, Wales, and Switzerland.
I'm assuming we'll all have the same first.
Yeah, Wales.
Yeah, obviously. I'm gonna be because I want because I want them to. I think Italy will win the group, but I am gonna say Wales second.
Yeah, I agree. Switzerland may challenge them because I know they've got a decent enough side, and I know Shaqiri normally does better for Switzerland than he does for club level, so they might do it. But I'd have thought Wales second.
I'm gonna blow your minds here. I'm going Turkey to top this. I think they've got a really decent centre-back partnership between Soyuncu and Kabak. Up top, they've got Yilmaz still, who's quite good. That Çalhanoğlu, who plays for AC Milan, he's an absolute deadly free kick taker. And Italy, although on paper have a great squad, they've been lacking for 10 plus years now. Yeah. They've not been the same side that they were. I'll say South Africa World Cup was when the last time they had like a decent run, a decent showing at a major tournament. But I've got Italy going second. I can see Turkey taking the top. I think Switzerland comes bottom of this group because I just don't think they've got the squad. Group B, Denmark, Finland, Belgium, Russia. God, there's going to be a lot of headers in this group, isn't there?
Yeah. Again, because they're a quality side, you've got to assume Belgium are going to win it, I think. But, like, even though I think Denmark are probably a better side than Russia. When Russia get to tournaments, they're really solid and they're just shithouse their way through it. So I think Russia will end up getting second.
Yeah, but it's not at Russia this time, is it? Or have they got them? Oh no, they have. They've got a fixture at Russia.
Yeah.
So maybe, yeah. I have put Denmark to come second, Belgium to top it, just because I know Denmark's got Ireland is Denmark, isn't it?
No, he's Norwegian.
Haaland's Norwegian.
All right then.
Well, no, actually, he's not Norwegian. He's from fucking Leeds. That's where he's from.
It is.
Yeah, I've got Belgium top, and I've got Denmark second because I think Paulson's a decent striker. He's not a clinical goal scorer, but he's kind of like I'm going to say he's kind of like Patrick Bamford, but then Patrick Bamford's banging goals in this season. He's a work rate striker.
You mean England striker at the Euros, Patrick Bamford?
Yeah,
who the fuck's Harry Kane?
They've still got Christian Eriksen. Daniel Vass is a decent centre mid, and he can play right back as well. And Christiansen, although he's been in and out of that Chelsea team, I think he's a really decent centre back.
Yeah, and he's looked good the last few weeks since he started getting a proper go under Tuchel. He's looked a lot better.
Yeah, he looked really good in Germany, didn't he? Before he came back over to Chelsea. He's a good centre half.
And Kasper Schmeichel being in goal as well always helps.
Yeah.
Group C: Netherlands, Ukraine, Austria, and Alioski's North Macedonia.
Damn right, Alioski's North Macedonia. They've still got Goran Pandev up top, who must be at least 55 years old. He's 37, but he seems older. This one, I'm letting my Leeds United get away from me here. Holland will win the group, but a last-minute Alioski penalty in the third game is going to sneak North Macedonia through in second place.
Yeah, I have circled and put it in capitals down in my notes. Macedonia to top the group, just because Alioski is going to turn into Messi and carry him because he don't stop fucking running. And then Netherlands, more realistically, they'll probably win the group.
Yeah,
you would have thought so. I mean, Netherlands went from being really good under Ronald Koeman, and then Koeman going to Barcelona, and now Barcelona are a bit shit, and Netherlands have dropped off as well ever since that managerial change has taken place.
Is Van Dijk likely to be back in time for Euros? I know
he's already back in training, isn't he?
Yeah, so he should be fine then, because they've got him and De Ligt and Stefan de Vrij.
And Nathan Ake
as well. So they're pretty well equipped at centre back, and they've got quality all over and loads of pace as well. So they should do well.
Yeah, but I've got Austria finishing second, purely because of David Alaba. I don't. That is literally, I think, that and Arnautovic might decide to play football properly again.
Is he still playing? Is he still over in China?
He's in Chinese league, isn't he? But
so he's not on vacation.
Well, he's making money.
Yeah.
They have also got that Lehmer that plays for Leipzig, and Lehner, who's the right back who plays for Borussia Mönchengladbach.
Yeah.
So they've got options.
Am I right in thinking, is Marcel Sabitzer Austrian as well?
Yeah, Sabitzer as well. He's a quality player.
He's a good player.
So, Group D, the most important group of all: England, Croatia, Scotland, Czech Republic. If you don't say England, you can fuck off.
We're losing to Scotland, but we'll still come second. Croatia will win the group.
Right, you can leave.
I've just got this feeling that we'll lose to Scotland. I don't know why.
I've got England to top it. I mean, just for the simple fact that we've got the absolute talent to do it. We've probably got one of the best sides in the world at the moment.
We absolutely should do well at this tournament.
But I
don't
rate Southgate at all. But he did really well at World Cup last time out. Yeah. So I'll say England to top it. And then I'm going to go in there with with Scotland to go in second. I just think they'll do it at a tournament level.
That would be my ideal. I would love that to happen. I would like Scotland to get through.
The side is slowly getting better. If you look at who they've got, I know Cooper's not the top dog, but he's Cooper, Andy Robertson. They've got some good players.
Yeah, they're just a bit unlucky that they've produced two really talented players and they're both left backs. Like Andy Robertson and Kieran Tierney are both good.
Yeah, but you could you play it as a back three, couldn't you? Or you could play it one in front of the other.
Well, it's what they do, don't they? They play Robertson as like a left-sided centre back, and then they play Tierney on the left wing.
Probably put Robertson in CDM. To be fair,
they've got two great CDMs in Scott McTominay and Big John fucking McGinn.
To be honest, that's a good midfield too.
Yeah,
like, there's no wrong with that.
Think of them, but yeah, them two. I hate McGinn, but he's sadly a good player.
Oh, he's annoying. He's annoying, but he's a good footballer.
Actually, I'm saying CDM. They play McTominay as a centre back.
Yeah. Well, all you want really is to convince Scott McTominay that he's playing Leeds every time.
Yeah, that's it.
Because he's a different person then.
Yeah, you'd be great. You
might just see Calvin Phillips and Patrick Bamford and Luke Ayling lining up in front of him and go, "Oh, it is Leeds."
It'd be great though, wouldn't it? North Macedonia come second, we come top. Patrick Bamford versus Alioski in the round of 32.
Alioski won't give a shit about the next season. He'd snap him.
Well, let's be right. Alioski's probably not going to be at Leeds next season. So.
Sadly, yeah. I hope they do extend him, but I don't think so.
So I've got England coming top, and I've got Croatia coming second. Group E: Spain, Sweden, Poland, Slovenia. Oh no, Slovakia.
I thought I got it wrong.
It's a very tiny picture that I've got of this.
But those flags do look pretty similar in fairness.
Yeah, because am I right in saying Slovakia's Skriniar and Danovic? No. Skriniar, Milinkovic, Savic, and I believe Mitrovic.
No, Mitrovic is Serbian.
He's wrong.
Because Mitrovic missed the penalty for Serbia that put Scotland through.
Quality.
Yeah, but like Skriniar's obviously really, really good. I don't know if he's still playing, but Marek Rodak in goal is a decent keeper from Fulham as well. So they've got options in goal. I know that he's been playing in China, but you would think that Hamsik is still pretty decent.
Probably.
I don't think that they have an actual striker of any note, though, off the top of my head, which I think will hurt them a lot in this tournament. I think it'll be... I can't see past Spain top, Poland second.
No.
Yeah.
With Lewandowski just being a goal-scoring machine, he'll drag this Polish side at least to the round of 32.
Yeah, I overlooked Poland because I just looked at them three teams and went, any of them. But for some reason I went ip-dip-do and put Slovakia down. But then I thought about it and just an hour and thought, oh yeah, you've got Lewandowski. And Click.
Matej's Click as well.
Yeah, Poland.
Yeah.
Spain, yeah.
I mean, they have also got a little person called Szczesny in goal as well, who, he's a little bit good.
Well, it depends. Where's he playing, Juventus or Arsenal?
Because it's two different people.
Roma. He's playing at Roma.
Yeah, but which version do they have? Do they have Arsenal Szczesny or do they have Juve Szczesny?
But to be fair, it's a completely different side.
Yeah.
You've got one what's going to win the league every season, and then somebody can get thrown in net, or you've got Arsenal.
Not this year. They aren't this year.
Are they not?
No, Inter first, AC second, then Juve.
Yeah, it's quite tight though, isn't it? Still,
that's an hard league actually.
There's like
top three anyway. Top four.
I think there's like 4 points between Juve and Inter. Or it's either 4 or 7, I can't remember.
It's also Pirlo's first season, isn't it? As a manager.
Yeah, so if you don't win the league, he'll get sacked.
And then they promote Ronaldo as player manager. Just cut out the middleman.
We don't need him. Yeah, they are. They're 7 points ahead of Inter at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't see Spain not topping this group, but it really does depend on who they decide to play as striker. Because although yes, he's Spain's number 9 at the moment. I don't think he's not a clinical goal scorer, is he? Let's be honest.
He's not an out-and-out striker.
He plays better in that number 10 role. But they have got Iago Aspas, who in the Spanish league is really good. He's a clinical finisher. You wouldn't have thought that when he were at Liverpool and he couldn't take corners.
Nice group.
Yeah. Hungary, Portugal, France, Germany.
So Hungary
that's an hard group.
So Hungary to top it, clearly.
Yeah, obviously.
That is a group of killers, that is. Portugal must have thought, oh, fuck. But I will say, I think Portugal comes second, and maybe with France topping it.
That's what I've got. That's what I've got as well. France first, Portugal second. I think this is where Germany come to the end of this cycle. I don't think they get through. I think Joachim Löw goes away, and then Jurgen Klopp takes the job.
No. Yeah.
Although I'm waiting for Hungary to upset one of them with Dominic Szoboszlai playing a key role in Hungary upsetting one of them.
Well, if he's going to do it to anyone, he'll do it to Germany. So he's playing in Germany.
Yeah.
I've got Portugal coming bottom of this. I've reckoned there's all this hype around them, and it seems to be that thing of if you win a tournament, the next time that you play at it, you get knocked out in the groups.
Yeah, but they didn't play well at it, which is the most backwards shit I've ever said because they won it. But they didn't play well. They came through in that subgroup of coming third. So maybe they come third again and come through and do that again. But they never. Is it right that they never won a game?
They all went
win a game
time.
in 90 minutes.
But they knew how to win
a game in 90 minutes
and won the tournament.
Came third via draws. Never won a game and won the full tournament. I have got them coming bottom. I've got Germany coming third. I've got Hungary coming second. And I've got France coming top.
Well, if that ends up being right,
I think I'll put a bet on that for you.
In fairness, that will be one thing I do just before the tournament starts. I'll have loads of individual group bets and stuff.
I just think if one group's going to throw you off, it's normally the group you least expect, and I think it will be that. And I can't see the way that Germany have been over the past couple of years, going into this tournament, and even the friendlies that they've played, they've been so hit and miss that I just think they won't be. I don't think they'll do it.
Yeah, I think there is going to be an upset. I think Hungary are going to take either a win or a draw or a couple of draws from somebody. Just because if you're going into mentality going, right, we need to beat Portugal, we need to beat Germany, or vice versa to whatever team, you might have to play you bench a few players just for a bit of fitness, a bit of rotation, and then I think maybe Hungary takes a scalp or two. But I don't think they'll get second.
Yeah, I suppose there's only one way to end it. Who have you got overall?
Portugal. Surprisingly. I don't think they'll do what they did last time. You look at the defence, except from Ruben Diaz. Well, actually, they've got a quality squad all the way around it, but their attack, I think with it probably being Ronaldo's last tournament, he might make it to World Cup.
I think he'll make it to World Cup.
And how much of a leader he is, I think they'll go through, and I think they'll either reach the semi or the final, and I'll put them to win.
Go on.
I was going to say overall, when I look at all the squads, I can't look past France for the whole thing. I just think that squad's unbelievable, and they're the only one of the teams I look at where I see the sort of 4 players below the squad that aren't going to get in, and think they'd get in pretty much any other squad. Yeah. And I just think France's squad is unbelievable, so I think they'll win the whole thing.
Fuck you. football's coming home. No, as much as I want England to win it, I think we'll get another semi-final here, and I think we'll get knocked out by the eventual winners of Belgium. Because at one point we've got to stop tipping Belgium, and they've actually got to win a tournament. Yeah. They're in this golden era. It's kind of like when we had Ferdinand, Gerrard, Lampard, Rooney. Everyone tipped us to do something, and we never did it. I reckon Belgium could do it though this time. We have got another prediction here. I'll say in Germany and France final, Germany win with Sané player of the tournament. He's not been great over in the Bundesliga.
Yeah, Germany have got plenty of. Yeah, Germany's squad is good enough to do it. I just don't fancy him this time.
No. You look at the squads overall. You look at Belgium's fantastic squad. Germany, as always, a fantastic squad. France is unreal. You're right. That squad is unbelievable. Portugal's is good. England's is good. It comes down to how the leaders and how they get played, and that's why I say Portugal, because it's the same sort of lineup. Belgium, I think, will do an England and just pass by the golden age, and they'll all get too old.
Yeah.
Germany are always going to do well. You could always tip them for a semi-final, and Alistair definitely could be right there. And France, they're world champions at the moment, aren't they? So, yeah, definitely.
But that'll do us for this episode of Stand Your Ground. As always, make sure that you go over to Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube and search WTBdotcom. Make sure you follow and subscribe and watch all the fantastic videos and read all the fantastic articles that are put out on whatthebuzz.com. Also, make sure that you check out Mighty White's pod on Twitter, which is where Jack does his Leeds United podcast with Casey, who would normally be on here, but work has been, well, fucking him, so he's not been able to be on for the past couple of weeks.
Yeah,
won't be back next week either.
No, and depending on how the night shifts go, I may or may not be. We'll have to see.
And if you're not getting plugged.
Fair.
But yeah, this also goes live on their Twitter as well at Mighty White's Pod, so make sure you check that out. But yeah, it's been a pleasure, guys. So I've been joined by Brad Carrott.
Yeah, thanks for this.
I've been joined by Jack Robshaw.
Yeah, cheers for having me, mate. I'll see you in a bit.
Yeah, and we will be back next Sunday, so make sure you check that out. In a bit, guys.